Most. A mild Monday, but then a chilly Tuesday for parts of Ontario. A big cool down coming your way, and good news for the prairies. We don't have as many extreme cold warnings in place, so it's going to be a lot more comfortable as we head into this week for you. Nova Scotia, we have rain in the forecast into Tuesday morning, with Yarmouth seeing the most, about 5 to 10 millimeters. Halifax under 5, and even the Southern Avalon could get 5 to 10. This will be after we get snow, which has already started in through parts of New Brunswick at this point. Notice that Halifax, you'll see a light dusting before it then changes over to the rain. And for Newfoundland, western shores of Newfoundland, Stephenville seeing about 10 to 20 centimeters of snow, and St. John's could get 5 to 10 centimeters through to Tuesday morning. And the cold spot in the entire country right now is St. Anthony at minus 40. So some of the coldest air in Newfoundland, but you're getting a warm up as the day goes on. This morning, St. John's is minus 8, Halifax is plus 1, Fredericton minus 7 with the snow. And for Quebec, we do have some snow in Montreal. Quebec City snows a little bit heavier for the morning commute, but for Montreal, just on those side streets, it's going to be a little bit messy for the morning commute. As we look to Ontario, the 10 centimeters of snow. There is a special weather statement in place for Chatham-Kent, Windsor, for the potential of about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow today, so a messy commute in the southwest. The additional snowfall for the Greater Toronto region over towards Kingston is just a trace amount, maybe up to 2 centimeters on the high end, a little bit more towards Ottawa and Montreal. This is not a huge event, but when it happens during the morning commute, lots of cars on the road, it tends to slow things down. Now this morning, there's that snow making its way through. Temperature-wise, we're going to be warmer in the morning than by the afternoon. That's because we've got some northerly winds funneling in, but some high pressure, so a lot of sunshine for us tomorrow throughout the entire day, in fact, but it's going to be cold. Look at this. Kingston will be around the freezing mark today, Toronto minus 2, Owen Sound minus 3, but then tomorrow morning, get ready for this. And this is not without the wind chill. Ottawa minus 22, Brockville minus 20, so it is a fresh cold start on Tuesday. It does get back to more seasonal as we approach the weekend, however. And the big systems this week are staying stateside. Right now, high pressure is the name of the game for the next couple of days. And then on the horizon, we are following a system for Atlantic Canada as we head into your weekend. Tuesday morning in the east will be a lot colder than today. Thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic. On Twitter, I've been asking people to send their photos of weather, and then I'll give you a personalized forecast on air, and it's happening right now for someone. They sent me a photo over the weekend. This is in Nova Scotia from Papa, and he's in the Annapolis Valley where we saw snow over the weekend, but for today, we're going to be seeing in the area a big warm up in temperatures, so getting up to 2 degrees for you with the rain-snow mix. We'll see about 3 centimeters of snow followed by a few millimeters of rain in the area, but by tomorrow it's going to be nice and clear. Now take a look at this shot. People getting outside enjoying winter. This was captured in New Brunswick. People snowshoeing. I'm pretty excited. I bought some snowshoes this weekend, so I'm going to be doing just that this weekend coming up, so I'm pretty excited about it. Maybe I'll take a photo and share it with you. This is a photo that I shared while traveling just south of Barrie on Friday. All the squalls were coming through. It was pretty bad visibility on the road. I made it there safely, but it certainly was a lot slower than usual in terms of the commute. And this is Ottawa. I just love people getting out there and enjoying winter. I'd love to see your photos. I'm at Nicole Karkic on Twitter, and this is in the Ottawa region where on January 11th people were paragliding. So yeah, just if you're going to be in the cold and it's winter in Canada, you might as well enjoy it. And also enjoying the beauty. I think this is pretty spectacular. This was on our website, theweathernetwork.com, in Crystal Beach, Fort Erie, Ontario. The big freeze making this beautiful image, and with the sun coming down, it always enhances those pictures. Also some bad driving conditions. This was shot in North Bay, but with all the snow comes some fun, because we've got some tobogganing happening in North Bay where there isn't a ban on tobogganing on the hills. So the kids loving it, everyone getting out and enjoying it. And we take you next to Saskatoon, which shines. You can see the beautiful clear conditions. Last week in the southern prairies, we had extreme cold warnings in place. This week we're getting a warm up. Places like Saskatoon around the freezing mark by the end of the week. And we take you next to the forecast in Grand Prairie. Look at Tuesday. You're going to be 4 degrees. Right now you're minus 26, so there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Does minus 16 sound appealing to you? Well, this afternoon, that's what you're getting in Regina. Yes, we'll see the sunshine, and Winnipeg is even colder at minus 20. But if you're looking for a beach vacation and the weather that cooperates with that, well, NASA is going to see some thunderstorms. They generally don't last for too long, but getting up to a hot 29 degrees. For Freeport, 29, also seeing some thunderstorms. Miami, also a few thunderstorms rolling through the area, but I'm sure that won't ruin your wonderful vacation.
I'll see you guys.
Happy Monday. Glad you could join us. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic. Across the country, it's a lot quieter this week than last. We still have some cold air in place across the prairies, high pressure in place for you, and that's going to shift into Ontario and bring some cold air for tomorrow. We do have some snow moving through southern Ontario at this point towards the east and through Ottawa and Montreal to start off your morning. And for Atlantic Canada, snow changing to rain in places like Halifax and Yarmouth for the afternoon. Ability on the roadway. So a deserted area in Sauble Beach during the winter, but so busy in the summer with some beautiful sunsets there. We've got the satellite radar showing us this band of snow that's still moving through Windsor and London. The Greater Toronto area also getting some snow, and as I traveled into work this morning, I found it worse really on those side roads. A lot of the highways doing a little bit better. Towards Brockville, however, and Ottawa as you start off your day, yes, we're going to see some steady snow. It doesn't look to be a huge event. This is not Snowmageddon, but we will be getting about under 2 centimeters still to go and bury over towards Ottawa. Ottawa maybe about 2 to 5 centimeters, and same story in Montreal. So you're getting a little bit more for the morning commute, but overall not doing too bad. Total ice cover at this point for the Great Lakes. Look at Lake Erie. Last week it was below 10%. Close to 50% at this point, but much different from last year. Last year, Lake Erie 90.4% at this point in terms of that total ice coverage. So still, we're definitely not on the same track as last year in terms of that cold air already in place. But cold air is moving in to Ontario for tomorrow. In fact, as early as late afternoon, we're going to be a lot colder than we are right now. There's the snow making its way through Ottawa and Montreal, bit of cloud cover, but then as the day goes on, by the evening time, we're going to see a lot clearer conditions. Northerly winds setting up into Tuesday afternoon, and we go from temperatures just hovering around the freezing mark, if not below today in southern Ontario, to being about minus 12. So the morning tomorrow will look a lot different. Yes, we're going to see the sun. That's beautiful. Toronto, though, will be minus 16. Ottawa, minus 22 without the wind chill tomorrow morning. And on the horizon, in terms of the next system to watch in the east, we've got high pressure Tuesday. We've got high pressure on Wednesday. So looking good. And then as we head into Thursday, we are following a system that will be moving some snow in through central Quebec. But also, the models are a little bit in disagreement on what's happening through Atlantic Canada. But we could be seeing a system moving through Nova Scotia and even Newfoundland by the end of the week. So we'll keep our eye on that. Lots of question marks with those models right now on that system. Hamilton, minus 11 on Tuesday, coldest day of the week for Ontario. But then look what happens. By Saturday, we'll be plus 1 around the freezing mark on Sunday, and some rain heading into Monday. So there is a big warm up on the way. Montreal this morning, that snow about 5 centimeters through the morning, minus 4 for you with winds sustained at 5 kilometers an hour. Here's our top stories we're following on Monday. Rain and snow in the forecast for the east. We've got a mild Monday, but a very cold, chilly, cold weather alerts that we have for you across the southern prairies today. By Friday, Regina, you're going to be above the freezing mark, so imagine that. As we look at the weather in southern Ontario, especially in the southwest, the radar is showing the snow moving through Windsor, Toronto, even towards the east. As far as how much we're picking up, it's not too bad, but that can always still be a problem on the roads with a lot of cars making their way this morning. Under 2 centimeters, though, Toronto towards Ottawa. Ottawa seeing maybe 2 to 5, a bit more for you, and Quebec City and Montreal getting a heavier amount of snow as well. This morning, Toronto, minus 1. We've got some light snow through the city at this point, which is where we find Michelle Mackey outside in Toronto. Tell us what you're doing out there.
Frigid.
You're right. Thanks so much, Michelle. And that's right. The cold air coming in place as early as late this afternoon. So we're sort of reaching that daytime high this morning. There's that snow departing. Northerly winds moving through. Good news is for tomorrow, though, we've got that sunshine. However, it is a much cooler start. Here's this morning for now. Good morning. Hope you're having a great Monday. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic. Across the country, anything in the darkest color here, and the oranges are our highest, coldest clouds. We do have some snow moving in through New Brunswick at this point. So too around Quebec and Ontario. And across the prairies, a bit of cloud cover, but more so your story again for today is the cold. And speaking of the cold, coldest spot in the country right now. Snow over the weekend caused low visibility on the roadways. I was traveling around the Barrie region, and it was bad on Friday. And then through Saturday, it was just the winds whipping all the snow around. For today, this is system snow making its way through the Windsor-London region already. You've got quite a bit of snow already on the ground, and the snow will continue to fall through that morning commute in the Greater Toronto region. Brockville and Ottawa, it will be a little bit heavier for you. We'll talk about how much you're going to get in a moment, but right now, let's go outside to Michelle Mackey, who is in the city of Toronto. And Michelle, I'm wondering, would you rather pick today to be out there with the snow and temperatures that are around -1, or tomorrow morning when it's sunny but -16? Yeah, so layers tomorrow. Thanks, Michelle. And for today, not too much more to go. It really just becomes messy because so many cars get on the road for that morning commute, but under 5 centimeters here for Toronto, Barrie, and really it will be probably under 1 centimeter more for places like Toronto. But Ottawa, Montreal getting a bit more, about 2 to 5 through the morning commute there for you. And we will be seeing some cloud cover as well. It departs as the day goes on, and then what happens next is we have Arctic high pressure pushing into place, northerly winds cooling our temperatures down, so sunshine across the province. High was -2 on Sunday, so it was much improved compared to Saturday's high. And for this morning, not doing too bad. -1 in Toronto, -6 in Pembroke, over towards Ottawa, you're -5. And then on the horizon, we've got that big H. High pressure clears the clouds away, and it's bringing us that sunshine from Ontario to Quebec and Atlantic Canada as well for this week. But on the horizon, we are following a system stateside that could develop into some active weather for you in Atlantic Canada. Lots of question marks on the track of this system at this point, but we're keeping an eye on it for you here at the Weather Network. They weren't building snowmen, they were building snow camels instead. Snammels. That's right.
All right. Good
so,
stuff.
As we look across the country this week, wow, look at that. Some warmer air moving into the prairies. Still cold this morning, but wow, you're getting a big warm up. And unfortunately, still cold in these.
That's right. The Maritimes, particularly Nova Scotia, will get the mix. Further north, we'll get the snow.
That's right. So how much snow? We've got Sydney seeing about under 5 centimeters. A bit more towards Newfoundland, Chris, into Tuesday.
That's right. Burin, Bonavista, and the Western Avalon may see between 10 and 20 centimeters. St. John's later today, tonight, we got you pegged around 10 centimeters.
All right. So this begins as a rain this afternoon for Yarmouth, but anything in pink, that's going to be some mixing. And notice all blue across Newfoundland and
Saturday,
and
we've had some light snow. In fact, about 6 centimeters and counting in Windsor as of early this morning. So a few more centimeters to go for the morning commute. It's not big snow, Nicole,
no,
but maybe enough to just slow down that drive, and that snow's headed its way towards the Niagara region.
Right, and then a huge cool down coming across Ontario here. Toronto's going to be -12 tomorrow afternoon, so it will be a very sharp cool down with some northerly winds. We don't usually see those purples invading southern Ontario, but there they are.
Northern Ontario, northern Quebec, as well as parts of Manitoba and Saskatchewan under extreme cold warnings this morning. So feeling like -40s, you really got to bundle up. So in the south, relatively mild this morning compared to tomorrow morning. That's what we want to jump ahead and take a look. Look at that.
Yikes, yikes. So then Ottawa's here -22 with some sunshine though. So that's going to look nice. But notice that warm up that happens towards Ottawa by Thursday, -5, which is a lot closer to average.
Absolutely. So a little snow today, big cold tomorrow, and then we want to take it to Saskatchewan. And this morning it is very cold. By the way, Mike Arsenault and Mark Robinson will be broadcasting from Saskatoon later this morning.
Thanks for joining us. Nicole Karkic with Chris Murphy here. It's the second week of the new year. So this is when everyone stops doing their New Year's resolutions, right? Did you follow yours?
No, come on.
You didn't have any, did you?
My resolution was to have no resolutions.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Rain and snow forecast. Yeah, we'll get to that across sections of the Maritimes. Some of you will see rain, some will see snow, and some both.
Exactly. And a mild Monday, but chilly Tuesday. We'll talk about a significant cool down by at least 10 degrees in some places.
Yes, and good news for the prairies. Today's your coldest day of the week, and then you're going to warm up. We'll show you.
Area. So especially on those side roads, Chris, people are going to find it a little bit slick.
Keep in mind, further south, we've got snow, rain, and ice. So flight cancellations, Washington, Baltimore, New York. So check ahead for arrivals and departures out of Pearson this morning.
Right, and the radar showing that snow just in through the Toronto region, a bit heavier towards Brockville, Ottawa, and even Quebec City. Let's go outside right now. Michelle Mackey joining us in the city of Toronto with some light snow falling. It's actually quite beautiful out there. That's right. Thanks so much, Michelle.
Right.
At least a few minutes, right?
In terms of additional snow, so on top of what's already fallen, most areas less than 2 centimeters more, but a little more in the Niagara region and Prince Edward County eastwards towards Quebec City, including Ottawa, Montreal, perhaps as much as 3 to 5 additional centimeters.
Right, so not too bad, but with all those cars, yes, it could be a bit messy. A bit of cloud cover to start the day. We've got some northerly winds funneling in for tomorrow, and then this high, Chris. It's sunny and beautiful, but if you're inside, it looks great. Then you step outside, and your fingers could be falling off. It's so cold.
That frigid air right now is in northern Ontario and the prairies, where we have some extreme cold warnings, feeling close to minus 40 now this morning. So the story is the snow, a little snow, and then the big cold.
Exactly. So there's that big cold. Minus 22 in Ottawa tomorrow morning, minus 16 in Toronto, but then we do rebound by the end of the week, even into the weekend. Temperatures above the freezing mark.
All right. Well, the Rideau Canal is partially open. That's some good news. So Arctic high pressure, that's the story. Also cooling down across the Maritimes and Newfoundland, not quite as cold. But then as we get into the long range, this is the one we're watching for Friday. Could be messy across Atlantic Canada. A little too early to pinpoint the details.
Exactly.
There's frost, and then there's hoarfrost when it's really cold. But temperatures will be warming up. So today is the coldest day of the week.
Exactly. Now, before we get to more on your temperatures in the prairie provinces, let's check in with Mike and Mark, who are in the prairies for you this morning. Thanks for joining us this morning. This is a really fun part of the show. We're asking on Twitter for you to share your weather pictures. I'm at Nicole Karkic. We also have at Weather Network. And then on our national morning show, we're going to be showing your photos and giving you a personal forecast. So who's the lucky winner today? Well, in Nova Scotia over the weekend, we had quite a bit of snow moving through, and Papa sent this to my Twitter account. He's saying this is in the Valley, Nova Scotia. His account said that he lives in Greenwood. So here's your personal forecast. We've got Greenwood getting up to 3 degrees this afternoon. We're going to see some showers making their way through the area. It does start off as snow. We've got some southwest winds for you, sustained at 20 kilometers an hour into the afternoon. And then by tomorrow, much cooler air funnels into place. Your daytime high is going to be well below freezing. And looking at this, also staying in the east, this is in New Brunswick. Someone sent this to our website, theweathernetwork.com. You can see people doing some snowshoeing through some very picturesque scenes here. The sun is shining, and I will be doing the same thing this coming weekend in northern Ontario. I just got my first pair of snowshoes. I'm pretty excited about it, and the poles too, ready to go. This was the drive that I took on Friday towards Barrie. The snow squalls were in full effect. Can hardly see in front of you here. Just very slow going on the highways over the weekend. All the Great Lakes, we're seeing some pretty intense lake effect snow squalls. Things have certainly died down for today. And also getting out and enjoying the weather in winter. That's the only way to really embrace it and get through it. And this is in Ottawa. You can see paragliding in the area was the scene for today in Ottawa. Temperatures are going to be around seasonal, but for tomorrow, your morning, minus 22. So it's going to be very cold. But you can see with the cold, there's the beauty. This is Crystal Beach, Fort Erie. You can see the ice formation out there. And towards northern Ontario, also some snow fell over the weekend. But with the snow comes the fun. And the tobogganing in North Bay hasn't been banned on the hills. So if you want to go tobogganing, you might have to travel up towards North Bay, because some hills in Ontario have seen that banned. Saskatoon shines, and we've got Mike Arsenault as well as Mark Robinson in the field in Saskatoon for this week. We'll go live with them coming up on the program. Stay with us. Warm up after Saturday. We were seasonal in terms of our temperatures. Waterloo got up to -2 for the daytime high. Glad you could join us today. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic, and looking at the radar, yes, it does look a bit messy. Blue is snow. Stateside, there is some freezing rain moving through places like Pennsylvania and New York, so check for any flight delays. At this point, we've seen a lot of the heavy snow pass through London, the Greater Toronto region, and some heavier snow in Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec City for the morning commute. But overall, this isn't too much. We'll see the most being 2 to 5 centimeters in the Kingston corridor towards Ottawa and Montreal. Let's now head outside to Michelle Mackey, who's in the city of Toronto. And it looks like the light snow flurries have stopped since we last talked to you. That's right. Thanks, Michelle, because really with warmer temperatures, you can just stay outside for that little bit longer and not be too miserable. Looking at this, our Great Lakes ice coverage, pretty impressive. From last year compared to this year, last year Lake Erie was 90% covered at this point. This year we're closer to 50, but quite a contrast compared to last week. Last week Lake Erie was just about 10% ice coverage, so we've made a huge jump since last week was so cold. Now this morning, there's that snow. It's just system snow that does taper off as the morning goes on. But as the morning goes on, temperatures are also diving right down across the province. We've got high pressure rolling into place, and high pressure is your friend if you like the sunshine, and we'll certainly see a lot of that through tomorrow. But for today, temperatures sitting around -2 in Toronto, 0 in Kingston, -5 in Ottawa, -2 in Brockville with the snow for the morning commute. And then tomorrow, the morning commute will be free and clear in terms of the weather, but you're going to need your shades as well as a few layers. I mean, look at these temperatures. Hamilton -17, Windsor will be -13. So it is a big drop, and then we do rebound as we get into the weekend. So quite a roller coaster ride. Overall, the pattern this week for the east, even extending into Atlantic Canada, is after you see the snow and rain in Atlantic Canada for today in the Maritimes, we are going to see that high pressure rolling into place and a much calmer week ahead on Wednesday. We will be looking, however, at a system coming through on Thursday. And for Ontario, again, here you can see up towards the north, Sault Ste. Marie is getting that sunshine, but you do have to travel a little further south to get the snow. And overall, the pattern this week, as I mentioned, is quiet. Stay with us here on the Weather Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic with Chris Murphy here. We're looking at our developing stories. We've got rain and snow in the forecast for some.
We do. Mild Monday, chilly Tuesday. We're talking about the east. It'll be the you'll switcheroo for the west, though.
Yes, and good news for the prairies. By tomorrow, you won't have those extreme cold warnings in place.
That we do.
So a huge improvement.
All right. Let's start off with a little weather pattern for the week. Ridge in the jet stream, that's going to allow Pacific air to come in, so that'll replace the Arctic air. But the east, though, you got the snow today in southern Ontario, and then it's all about the cold coming in.
Exactly. And cold enough for snow here this morning in southern Ontario. The Greater Toronto region picking up only about 2 centimeters, Chris, so it's not too bad. But towards the east, a bit heavier. Yeah,
but there are delays out of Pearson, domestic delays, and even some international cancellations, including around Washington, Baltimore, and New York, because they're getting some snow, some rain, and some ice.
Exactly. And this morning, there's that snow tapering off. By the afternoon, temperatures starting to fall. So we're reaching the daytime high in the morning. We like the H if we like the sun, but it's going to be cold.
Like a fake fireplace. It'll look nice, the sun, but it won't warm you up. All right, so let's do a little compare and contrast. So today, it's the light snow and the very comfortable temperatures, I would say. And then tomorrow, we do the big exchange.
Wow. So you were saying it. Today's
little snow.
Tomorrow.
Big cold.
Exactly. But the sunshine, that's pretty beautiful. This morning towards the east, we've got St. Anthony at -24, St. John's -9, but this warm up here bringing some rain into Nova Scotia for the afternoon.
Hence our headline, rain for some, snow for others. Moncton will see some snow, perhaps 5-ish centimeters worth. And then tomorrow, you dry out, but you too will cool down. Look at that, -14 in Moncton, -7 in Halifax.
Exactly. And the snow moving through, bringing anything in the dark blue or most snow, so 10 to 20 centimeters toward the Bonavista Peninsula, even on the fringe there for St. John.
Really cold. It looks beautiful, though, when it forms.
It does. And beautiful temperatures here moving in for the prairie provinces. If you were sick of the cold, well, by the end of the week, places like Regina getting up to +1 on Friday. Thanks for joining us. Happy Monday. Nicole and Chris with you here. We've got a lot to talk about.
We do. Rain and snow in the forecast. Who's getting rain, who's getting snow? We'll break that down for you.
And a mild Monday down to almost 10 degrees lower in parts of Ontario for tomorrow.
And good news for the prairies. You get through today, and tomorrow and onwards warms up.
Exactly. It'll be a breeze. Taking a look at our snowfall forecast, a bit snowy out there, especially on those side roads in the Greater Toronto region. Ottawa, still some heavy snow falling through that morning commute, about 2 to 5 by the end of the day, but it'll be persistent through the commute.
Niagara region, also additional snow. Windsor to London, you've already had about 5 or 6 centimeters. Joining us outside, Michelle Mackey. So, Michelle, in terms of temperatures, I think tomorrow will be the bigger story, but what's it like out there in terms of the roadways and all around you? Right.
Thanks so much, Michelle. So here's how it all plays out, Chris.
Thankfully, the wind is light. That's
Yeah,
good
that's
news
true.
this morning. Okay,
That's
so the storm departs, and then it's the cold air. It's the cold air in northern Ontario, which is in the core temps, minus 20s and near minus 30s. We'll get a taste of that in the south. Very chilly tomorrow.
Yeah, and tomorrow is going to be bam. Look at this. Whammo, very cold, minus 22 in Ottawa, minus 16 in Toronto. But the sun will be out, and it's just a short, cold day, and then we get back to more seasonal by the end of the week. So just get through that one cold day.
Further east, it's also going to be cold as well as we take a look in eastern areas of the region. We've got Montreal and Ottawa and over towards Halifax and Moncton. Much, much colder tomorrow, but we do have snow falling in the interim. Flurries today. Nova Scotia will see a mix. St. John's could get 10 centimeters. Carbonear, perhaps as much as 15 or 20.
Exactly.
We have Mike Arsenault and Mark Robinson. They are on quite the excellent adventure.
They are. They were in Calgary, and then today they're in Saskatoon. And look at them, Chris. I don't know why they're wearing hats and all bundled up.
Every day.
Absolutely.
All right. Have lots of fun there, boys.
Good stuff. All right. Well, here's the deal today, Nicole, the coldest day of the week.
Exactly. That's right. And then purple's changing to blues, Chris. When you see those blues, especially the lighter blues, Grand Prairie warming up significantly in Edmonton for the week. So things are stabilizing.
I would be a little concerned maybe tomorrow for some freezing rain in Edmonton, the price of warming temperatures. But it's still very cold out there this morning, as you saw Mike and Mark bundling up.
And I'm wondering, is this the coldest temperatures you've ever been in, Mike?
Haven't seen the sun in a while in the cold. Back to you.
Okay, thanks so much. Well, we are going to get some sunshine this morning. Peeking in for the prairies, we've got Saskatoon at minus 22, Winnipeg minus 31, but again, that's without the wind chill. However, look at this big turnaround. By Wednesday, you'll be around the freezing mark. Your seasonal average in Saskatoon is about minus 10, minus 11, and we're not seeing that in the next 7 days. In fact, you will be above average. Moving next to Ontario, we do have the system snow moving through Windsor. It's already dropped 6 centimeters for the Greater Toronto region, still seeing some light snow and heavier snow along the 401 Kingston, Brockville towards Ottawa to start off your day. But where Michelle Mackey is in Toronto, things have quieted down, but the roads still a little bit messy out there, right? That's right. Thanks, Michelle. So a little bit more snow in Ontario, more towards the east in Ottawa and Montreal. This afternoon, minus 2 in Toronto. Tomorrow, it'll be minus 16. Good morning. Nicole and Chris with you here. We've got some developing stories. Rain and snow for some in the east.
Meanwhile, mild Monday for eastern Canada, but a very chilly Tuesday.
Boy, oh boy. And good news for the prairies. We are warming up for you this week, so those cold weather warnings, they're going to be dropped by the end of the day, and we won't have them tomorrow morning.
All right, so here's the weather pattern this week. Nice ridge in the jet stream. That's going to allow some Pacific air to move in. By the way, Edmonton, you might see some freezing rain tomorrow. But the east is going to trade in the snow for today for the colder air tomorrow.
Certainly, and cold enough for that snow this morning across Ontario. Not too much, Chris, but we do have Toronto, Barrie up to Parry Sound, seeing about 2 centimeters. And it's happening during the morning commute, so it always does make things go a bit slower.
Likely more Kingston east and down towards the Niagara region. We've already had 5 to 6 centimeters London to Windsor.
Right, and so Ottawa, Montreal, a little bit worse. And then as we head into the afternoon, we've got that big high pressure moving into place. I love high pressure because I love the sunshine, but I don't like the cold air, Chris, that's moving in for tomorrow.
No, and that air's coming right down from northern Ontario, where this morning some wind chills are near minus 40.
Yikes. And so this morning, Toronto's minus 2, Ottawa's minus 5, and then look at tomorrow morning.
Holy moly. Yes, we're back into the meat locker with temperatures, core temperatures in the minus mid-teens to even minus 20. The Rideau Canal, by the way, is partially open, so that's good news for some skiers.
Right.
The skaters, rather.
Skaters.
Yes.
And for tomorrow, it's going to definitely get a little bit more frozen towards the east. The same sort of trend setting up, Chris. We've got some snow moving into New Brunswick, a rain-snow mix in parts of Nova Scotia, including Halifax.
Yes.
This is today, but then look at tomorrow.
Much colder. Look at that. Montreal minus 21, Quebec minus 21, Moncton minus 14. So you'll trade in the snow and the rain for the colder temperatures. Heaviest snow will be tonight in Newfoundland, and some areas could see close to 20 centimeters.
Exactly. And as we move towards the prairie provinces, we've got
spiky snow has been really, really cold. So this morning, bundle up. Wind chills in the minus 30s and minus 40s.
And then, Chris, a big change as we head into the end of the week. Saturday, minus 3 in Saskatoon, so a big improvement on the way. We won't see those wind chill warnings in place. Happy Monday. Glad you could join us. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic. Looking at our cloud tops, look for the darker colors. That's our tallest, coldest clouds, and usually where we're seeing the most active weather. So notice it's really in the east, Ontario, seeing some snow through places like Toronto over towards Ottawa and Montreal and Atlantic Canada getting some snow as well, which will change to rain in places like Halifax and Yarmouth. For the prairie provinces, we're dealing with cold temperatures, and we've got Mike and Mark on quite the journey from Calgary over towards Saskatoon for today. So let's join them right now in Saskatoon. And guys, I know usually you're used to being in much warmer weather. So how are you feeling in the cold prairie morning? All right, they're the cold whisperers out there. They're traveling towards Manitoba, where you're not getting the big warm up that we're going to be seeing in Alberta or Saskatchewan. But look at this morning. It's feeling close to minus 42 in Brandon, minus 37 in Regina. However, there is a big change happening. Look at Wednesday, 0 in Saskatoon. Usually your daytime high is about minus 10, and we don't see that on this board right here. In fact, we're staying above average after we get through today. Getting some snow continuing into Ontario. Not as bad as that. Those were the squalls. That was lake effect snow, but this is system snow, which has already dropped at least 6 centimeters in Windsor and is moving into Toronto. And that's where we find Michelle Mackey right now with the snow-covered cars behind her. Not too much snow, Michelle, but I know it's been causing a few problems on the roads. I know, so I think Michelle would rather be out there today than tomorrow because it's going to be very cold into tomorrow morning. Here's that snow still moving through Ottawa Valley towards Montreal, seeing about 2 to 5 centimeters this morning, so it will be a little bit more intense for you. And then those northerly winds and then that big H rolling into place, and high pressure helps to clear the clouds away. So yes, it'll be sunny, but look how cold it's going to be. Minus 16 in Toronto without the wind chill, Ottawa minus 22, North Bay minus 25. That's just one day though. This is our coldest day of the week, and then we do get back to more seasonal values heading into the end of the week. And for the weekend, it actually looks quite mild. High pressure in place for this week. The snow will move into Atlantic Canada for you this morning into the afternoon, but then it does clear out and cools down for you as well. And then we're following this system, which will move into Newfoundland right now heading into the end of the week. So big question mark on what exactly is going to happen in Atlantic Canada Thursday into Friday. So we'll have a better handle on that system later on this week. And for Toronto, there's that mild air moving in for the weekend, +1 on Saturday. And for Quebec, we've got Montreal sitting at -2 into the afternoon.
They wouldn't have the tools or the trucks to get, rid of all the snow. So
right.
It's definitely a rare occurrence.
Exactly. And as we look at our weather patterns setting up across the country, well, we've got the colder air and building snowmen in the east here, Ontario to Quebec. We are warming up as we get into the weekend, but the bigger warm up this week certainly in the prairies, Jacqueline.
Definitely, but not quite yet for our team out west. That's Mark Robinson and Mike Arsenault, who are freezing there this morning. And we will get a chance to speak with them momentarily. But cold today, warm coming. If you want to just play that, we'll see how this plays out for you. It's Arctic high pressure really gripping much of the prairies, at least for another 24 hours.
Right, but then we start to get these light blues, a sign of things to come. And by the end of the week, Regina is going to be +1. So we've got the cold whisperers over here, Mike and Mark, joining us on their amazing adventure. Mike, you're moving around a bit, trying to keep warm, I guess.
Sunshine as well. It is cold, so come up in our next 2 segments. Nicole and Jacqueline, 2 cold weather experiments. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
I look forward to that.
Okay, and not as cold as you have been in the prairies, but still this morning, -26 in Regina. There are the extreme cold warnings in place for southern Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba.
That's right. And then this morning, if we look a little bit further west, we do have some foggy conditions, especially some valley fog. So that cold air getting trapped in the valleys, the warmer air overrunning it. Here's what we're talking about coming up on the show with me. Rain and snow forecast right across the country. Potential storm later this week, and of course the anniversary of the Haiti earthquake.
Does -16 sound appealing to you? Well, this afternoon, that's what you're getting in Regina. Yes, we'll see the sunshine, and Winnipeg is even colder at -20. But if you're looking for a beach vacation and the weather that cooperates with that, well, NASA is going to see some thunderstorms. They generally don't last for too long, but getting up to a hot 29 degrees. For Freeport, 29, also seeing some thunderstorms. Miami, also a few thunderstorms rolling through the area, but I'm sure that won't ruin your wonderful vacation.